I think it works better because Demon One was not as like a typical aggressive duelist who would just like send it into the bomb site. He likes to take his like battles where he knows or where he thinks the enemy will be, and then he'll just shit on them. That's his style. Whereas we need the duelists to like we you just have to send it like.
Hey guys, this is Pedro back with another interview covering VCT America Stage 2. For this occasion, I'm here accompanied once again by Victor of NRG, who are coming off of an opening stage loss to Sentinels in said competition. So, Victor, really do appreciate you taking the time for doing another interview with me. And of course, commiserations on the series. Just sort of asking about your thoughts overall, initial feelings after coming out of a series like that.
Um, yeah, just pretty disappointed. That's obvious. But I think our most glaring issue today was Lotus, obviously. It's our map pick, and we started defense, and against their composition, they were running Deadlock Cypher Double Sentinel, which means their attack side should be weaker, and our defense should be stronger. But we ended the half like 4-8 in their favor, and that's just not good enough uh, against a Double Sentinel composition. And yeah, we felt pretty flat. I think they played their attack side pretty well. Um, yeah.
Sort of asking about that, then you mentioned first half Lotus. I mean, what do you think was the biggest obstacle slash issue that the team kind of faced that kind of led to that display?
Um, I think they were really good at like they just have really good fundamentals on their attack side. They know which space they need to re-clear. They know uh they know what we're probably thinking in our heads based on what's happening in the round. Um, they just have they have good protocols in their attack side. Like for example, we had long C mount on them, and their response was to open the C door, which is very difficult for the defense if they're playing in that area, and that's good. That's good by them. Um, we tried like manipulating them into like hitting our heavier side, and they re-cleared the space that we took it initially. So that was very good by them. Pretty much, they're like we couldn't manipulate them into doing what we wanted them to do, and they're like gathering information very well, and they're able to make good mid round decisions off that.
So sort of now looking over to the other side of the coin, over to you guys in that same kind of time frame, same kind of map, to sort of focusing on the composition. Of course, with the neon now taking a bigger presence, you played that agent, and of course again in sunset, but some played on the clove, and just sort of asking about that. How did you kind of see the teams kind of display with that composition, and just sort of asking about how the composition was kind of formed also.
You're talking about Lotus, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, honestly, the comp has been going very well in practice. The reason for the clove is her best feature, which is that clove can put smokes down, uh, while dead, and that helps like tremendously in post mine situations. Um, yeah, it just helps tremendously in post mine situations. Like, there's many situations where you can use an extra smoke. So there's that, and Lotus is a big map, so if we position clove correctly, uh, we can essentially have smokes for the whole round, even if clove is dead, and that allows clove or Sam to like make a little more aggressive plays, like not to, and Sam won't be scared of dying, because he can still have impact. And that's that. As far as the neon, like the neon on Lotus is something that's already been explored in past splits or whatever. So I already knew what she was capable of on Lotus, and that's why we went with it.
Yeah, of course. just asking now about Neon. Of course, as I alluded to earlier on in the this last question, just sort of taking a bigger presence. You kind of viewed your form in the Neon, playing that agent, because I believe it's been quite a while since you last played that agent. Maybe you might have played it earlier this year. Might be wrong on that. You can correct me on that, but still, just sort of your thoughts on just you playing that agent and its kind of change in attention compared to earlier on in the year.
So you just want me to talk about like my role change?
Uh, yes, but also like with the agent in particular,
As far as the role change, I think. I mean, I was playing a lot of duelist back then on Optic, and that was the chamber year. So like we could just put Yay on chamber, and I'll just play every duelist. So I have experience doing it. Like it's my most comfortable role in my opinion. Because I know what I have to do. I know what I have to accomplish. What my goal is in the round is. I know what I have to say in the round. I know what information that I know the information that I see. I have to pass along to FNS so he can make a better read on the round. Um, yeah. As far as the neon goes, I'm just very comfortable with it. I know what she like. I know her ins and outs, like down to like when should I slide or like stuff like that. So yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm just comfortable, very comfortable with the duelist role.
Moving over to map two, Sentinels got out to pretty commanding lead, even to one point going on top around like 11-3. You guys then obviously came back, forced overtime, but unfortunately, Sentinels then won those two final rounds to close out the series. Just sort of asking about just that map overall, biggest issues you saw with the team in map in first half, what led to the comeback in half two, and then what led to just Sentinels taking it at the very end.
So first half we were on defense. Abysmal by us. Uh, it's honestly like a little blurry for me. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I think we did know where they were going every time. We just didn't hold. For example, I think they only went A like one or two times, and even though they like made pressure at A and like pushed us off at A, like we still knew what was happening in the round. We still knew that they weren't gonna end A, they're gonna go B, and we had the people there. Um, but yeah, I don't really know exactly what happened. I have to watch back, and yeah, that's for our defense half, the first half. And then what led to the comeback? I mean, I don't know how we came back to be honest. Like, I think we lost pistol too, so I don't even know how we came back. But I think FNS was making really good reads on them, and he was pretty much microing. Uh, he pretty much knew what he wanted to do at the start of every round. Like he knew exactly uh, how the round would play out down to like the post plant, like even before the round started. So props to him for like uh, commanding the comeback for us.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. As you said, finesse with his IGLing and stuff. Anticipating Sentinel's movements, sticking the attention onto him now. In addition to some, of course, got to ask about their return to the squad. What's it like just having them return to the squad and just having them be back into just basically their same roles as last year.
Uh, it's been good so far, honestly. I think prac has been going very well for us. We've made really good progress since the first day we started scrimming with them. Um, as far as them individually, I think both of them have gotten better than from last year when we previously had them. I don't even know how, to be honest, because like they were taking a break, they were streaming, so I don't know where their improvement came from. But I was like, especially Sam, like I was really surprised about like just his evolution, like his game sense evolution, not even his mechanics. But his mechanics are great. But what impressed me was just like the way he thinks about the game is like more evolved and compared to last year, and he's good. As far as FNS goes, like we know what we're getting from him, like great leader. Like, I'm not even talking about the IGL, like great leader outside the game. Um, which is a huge part. He's great IGL in the game, obviously. Uh, and I think he really like elevated our fundamentals and like macro understanding of the game on each map compared to last play. So yeah, pretty
How
much
does
we
it?
all got smarter because
Okay, okay. With that said, I gotta ask about just, of course, the comparison between this roster and last roster. You know, in what way does this current team compare to that when you guys had Demon One and Marv? You know, and its issues that the team experienced at that time. You know, how does it kind of compare? You know, in its current form right now.
uh, I think our last iteration, honestly, it was completely different. Even though, I mean, yeah, we subbed two players, but even though we kept three other players, like it was completely different. We have a different leader, different main voice of the team. But as far as how like the system goes, I think I think it works better because Demon One was uh he was like not as aggressive, not as like a typical aggressive duelist who would just like send it into the bomb site. He likes to take his like battles where he knows or where he thinks the enemy will be, and he'll just shit on them. That's his style. Whereas we need the duels to like we you just have to send it like when because the timing if the timing calls for it, you just have to dash in, satchel and run in, whatever it is. Um, just because you don't want to lose your timing on wherever you are and give the opposing team time to rotate and like get information on you. So I think it just flows better, like as before compared to before where we're like slightly too slow, and teams like that gave teams time to like read where we are, find where we are, and they're like stacked on us.
I think that was the biggest. Well, from how I see it, I think that's like the biggest difference so far. You know, within just the duelist role, just having you be there and just being more aggressive than how Demon One
I'm not
competed.
saying he's
Right?
a bad player. Like don't get me wrong.
Uh,
I think Max is a great player. But it just fits our system. Like FNS's system of calling. Like he's been doing it the whole time with me as his duelist. So I think that just made it comfortable, more comfortable for him because he knows
or
what he's getting out of me.
all right, just that familiarity from just so many years of
Yeah.
playing together. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. One more question. I'm gonna make it short. Just sort of approaching next week, Super Week. Just sort of, how are you guys gonna approach that?
Same as always. Like the slot sucks for sure. I really would have liked this one considering it's our first game with this five. And it would have. I think if we had won this game, we would have won out the split. Uh, I read the rest of our games, but it sucks. That's that. It is what it is. But we just have to go back to practice, look where we went wrong, especially on Lotus, and just fix it up.
Fix it up, you guys will do. Victor, really appreciate you taking the time for another interview this season. Really do appreciate it. Best of luck. We'll see you and the rest of the team, man.
See you next time.